Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Nikki. And Nikki's been writing in for a while. She's been dealing with a son husband for a husband, and her last video being you can't break the narcissist son husband, and he don't want to be broken from mommy. So here's her story. Hey Ollie, it's been a while, so I thought I would write with an update on us. I hope you're keeping well. Thanks for keeping up the good work on the channel. The last time I wrote, we suddenly heard that my father-in-law was dying of cancer after over 2 years of no contact. His illness meant that my husband broke no contact with him and my narc mother-in-law, and within days of him going to see them that first time, she began to get her claws in. That's right, he was no contact. We had no idea how long my father-in-law had to live, and I had no idea if my husband would want to stay in touch after he passed. It was really horrible. It was a really horrible time for both of us, but for very different reasons. Look, and I just brought this up yesterday because I talked to my friend Tom, okay, who gave up 17 years of the prime years of his life because his father was sick, and his father ended up dying 17 years later. He was in shock and sad for his parents, and I was and still am angry that he had broken no contact after all our hard work to get out of that situation. I actually felt like I was going crazy during that time, like I dreamed it all, and perhaps we'd been in the wrong all along. What I did know was that I couldn't and wouldn't forbid a grown man from doing what he felt he needed to do at the time. So, son, husband or not, that had to be his call. He agreed to keep me and the children out of it completely, and to be fair, he stood by that. However, the feelings of betrayal were and still are strong in my system. I was angry that he felt that impending death absolved his parents of all they had done and said, and for the abuse they had dealt out so many years. Arguments between my husband and I came and went, and although I knew he was having a hard time, I couldn't shake the upset I had that he'd allowed them back in his life at all. If there's a bad situation, you can bet your ass that his mother will make it 100 times worse. And it felt in some ways almost like he was glad. That's kind of like look. On one end, for the grip his mother has on him and his family has on him, it's very impressive even when no contact at all. At all. And he clearly did it for you in the marriage. However, you're picking up on something that I was thinking to myself as I'm reading this. As attached as he was to mom, obviously more mommy than daddy, he was actually hoping for the death of daddy. This is what he was hoping for, hoping that death would absolve the narcissist. See, that's what the son husband always kinds of hopes for, that the death will absolve in the eyes of the spouse or whoever's trying to get you to break the contact. They don't actually want to be no contact. You got to understand that. Your husband is never going to be happy being no contact. He's just not. He's just not, because he is, whether he's no contact or not, he is a son husband. And he's always going to be seeking some kind of emotional leverage that's going to absolve her in your eyes, in his eyes, and whoever's, and it's never going to happen. Like he finally had an excuse to go back to them. Yeah. This is what they're all, listen, this is how it works. There's always that deep down, maybe they'll change. Maybe something will happen that'll make it okay. And it's just never going to happen. His dad died after a short illness in mid-December. In his shell-shocked state, my husband returned home from hospital on the night he died and let slip about some things that had happened with his mother that he hadn't told me about. Surprise, surprise. There always is. Look, the son husband always has secrets. He's never gonna tell you everything. Never. Even right now, he's holding information back on you. Guaranteed. Surprise, surprise, there was now a bank account with my husband's name on it. He didn't even know why he needed to be on it. And yet, he'd taken his ID to the bank, signed on the dotted line, and all without speaking a word to me about it. I kept calm at first, but as we carried on speaking, more and more hidden details came to light, and we wound up arguing over the secrets. I'm not proud of the way I reacted. I started a fight with him the very evening he returned from the hospital after watching his dad die. Because you were already cluing in on, this motherfucker is trying to bring back mommy. And he's trying to use this situation as an excuse to go back to being a full-on son husband. And he's going to use this as an excuse to cover other secrets that I don't fucking know about. He's never, ever, the son husband will always have secrets. Always have secrets. I don't think I will ever forgive myself for that. Why? He was supposed to be Why? Wait. Why? Why? If death doesn't absolve the narcissist, and he was no contact from his family, then what in the fuck do you have to forgive yourself about that he broke no contact and it turns out he's keeping more secrets from you? How does that work? How does that work exactly? But even so, I can't help but be angry that he put me in that position to begin with. Right. Yeah. Everything we've been over and worked for in the past 2 years previous was all gone. Right, because he was biding his time, waiting for his opportunity to bring her back in. I think I've told you this in other videos too, Nikki. These son husbands will, when they do go no contact, they bide their time, waiting for an opportunity. Waiting for an opportunity to try to make things normal again. Everything she had done and said to me didn't matter. He was choosing her over me, and that was all I could see. It sounds gross, but it felt like he was having an affair with his own mother. He is! Emotionally, he is. That's why he's a son husband. It's not just a word. It's not just a term I throw out because it's funny. What is a husband? A husband has a sick kind of weird... Not weird, because you're husband and wife, it's what it's supposed to be. It's sexual, it's emotional, it's intimate. It's not what you're supposed to have with your mother. And I was being gaslit. Her triangulation tactics were working, and I was being made to feel like I was in the wrong, even after everything. I spent evenings reading old messages and emails, just to remind myself of everything they had done. None of this was about his dad dying. It was all about how she could finally win. A couple weeks after the funeral, I didn't go. My husband and I talked about what would happen next. I needed to know if he was planning to stay in contact, because if he did, I had some big decisions to make. I felt so trapped back then, and in some ways I still do. If he wanted to stay in contact with her, I would feel betrayed beyond repair, but what could I do? You give him an ultimatum. Like, it's her or me. I believe I told you that in other videos. I mean, that's how it came to this, didn't it? Again, you're letting him let death absolve the No, there's no conversation. What's the conversation? What's changed? Nothing. Nothing's changed. All that's changed is I'm finding out you're keeping more fucking secrets. No contact. No contact right now. No, there's no discussion. What further discussion does there need to be here? The son husband always keeps secrets. Always, always, always. Why? Because they're in a pseudo-emotional sexual relationship with their fucking mother. And they know on some level it's fucked up. If I left him, then I would have no control over whether he has access to my children or not. At least if I stuck things out, I would be able to protect my children. My husband was no use. He, as always, said he didn't know. He wasn't sure. And then he said the words that made me realize nothing has changed. And that he was part of the biggest gaslight we'd ever encountered yet. Life's too short. Yeah, it is. So's mine. You're right. Life is too short, dude. Life is too fucking short to be married to some fucking son husband who refuses to keep his mommy out of his life and keep secrets and put his name on fucking bank accounts and look for any excuse to bring this chaos back into his life. Yeah, you're right. Life is too short. I knew those words had come straight out of my mother-in-law's mouth because that's just not something he would ever say. And as soon as they were spoken, I knew that they had been said to him as a way of papering over the past. We were supposed to forget everything they had done in the name of life's too short. What I did next was follow your advice, Ollie. You told me to call him out and call his bluff. It took me a while to get there, but I eventually said to him, okay, you do what you need to do, and I'll only ask for one thing in return. You demand that she apologize to us for everything she did, everything they put us through. And as you told me he would, he took the path of least resistance, and he hasn't been back there since. Because he's going to wait, Nikki. He's the son husband. He's a giant pussy. He's a giant pussy, and he's going to wait for the next incident, for the next time mommy's going to get sick or a family member's going to get sick. There's always going to be a next time. There's always going to be a next time for the son husband to bring mommy back in. Always, always, always. Slowly we're rebuilding, and we've had before. Slowly we're rebuilding what we had before she sidestepped back into our lives. But it's not without casualty, because I'm not sure I'll ever forgive him, and I don't think he'll ever forgive me for being unsupportive. He don't have a fucking leg to stand on. You have nothing to stand. He has nothing to be mad about. Nothing. You have nothing to be, and I hope you show him this, dude. You got nothing to be mad about. You lied. You know your mother's toxic. You know your family's toxic. Nothing's changed. We've already established death doesn't absolve the narcissist. He was no contact with them, and then he died. So what's changed? So what do you have to feel guilty about? What exactly does he have to feel mad about? And he's keeping secrets, as they always do. I don't know what that means for us in the future, but for now, I know I have to keep going whether I like it or not. Not for him, but for the sake of my kids. Take care, Nikki. And I would tell him, Nikki, I know you got secrets, and I know you're never going to tell me. I know it. You're just going to have to realize there's always a next time. There's always going to be a next time with the son husband. Until next time. That's just it. He's going to bide his time and wait for the next piece of emotional leverage that he thinks that he's going to do that's going to change everything, that's going to absolve the narcissist. Never going to happen. And understand, he's always going to keep secrets. Always. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for another contribution and story, Nikki. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to have a private video made, or you'd just like to make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful. Because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. And believe me, YouTube and Google would like to make that happen sooner or later. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to follow me on the library backup app as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.